Hi everybody, John Cottrell here of MBODY Yoga, and this is Soft Flow Yoga. In this practice, we're going to balance. Oh! Let's begin our practice in seated so we can get reacquainted with breath. So sit on something soft if you'd like. I'm sitting on a blanket. You can certainly sit on a pillow if you'd like. Just be sure your spine feels nice and long. Let's take a few deep breaths. Full breath in, filling up your lungs. And exhale. Just let it all go. One more time. Full breath in and exhale. And just continue with slow, steady breaths. Feel free to close your eyes if you'd like as you take this journey inside of self. Or just keep your eyes open, but just a soft gaze forward or downward at the ground. Take a moment. Find stillness, silence as you make this deep connection. Feeling grounded and centered. Since we're focusing on balance, we want to begin that balancing practice right here. You can even play with the balance of breath. If you can, see if you can match the pace of the inhales and exhales, meaning the exhale or the pace of the exhale matches the pace of the inhale. So let's say you count to yourself 1, 2, 3, 4 as you inhale. On the exhale, you will count 1, 2, 3, 4. Try that a few times. Good. Just take 2 more balanced breaths. Very good. All right, let's make a slow transition to hands and knees. Let's warm up the spine with cat and cow. Feel free to use some padding here if you want to protect your knees and your wrists. As we inhale, just tip the chin up. Feel the arching of the back, the belly drops, and we tip the pelvis back. That's our cow pose. With the exhale, perhaps starting with the back end if you're able, tuck the pelvis under. Feel the rounding of the spine. Belly button draws up towards spine, chin to chest, cat. And just continue this flow. A wonderful undulation through the spine helps to open the hips. We will be coming back to this posture for our balancing practice. We have 2 poses that we're going to feature today. First one will be kind of a typical standing balance pose, and that's tree pose. Then we'll come back down to the floor and practice what's called spinal balance. Feel the fluidity as you breathe and move. And you can certainly continue with that balanced breath. Finish the breath that you're on and take 2 more. When you're complete, just come back to stillness. Just hold here in this neutral tabletop position. And we'll make a transition. If you are using some padding, we'll just set that to the side for now. And come back to hands and knees. Let's go through a warrior sequence. Step the hands forward, spreading out the fingers so you get a nice stretch between each finger. Lean into the palms to flatten the palms. As you press into the earth, feel the strength, energy, and length of the arms. Tuck the toes. Do another cat-cow flow. So inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Hold cat pose. And then lift knees off the floor as you slowly send your hips into the air. Allow your head to sink between the arms. If you keep the knees bent, your hips will continue to lift up. Chest will continue to sink until you come to a natural stop, forming your inverted V-shape downward facing dog. Let's just hold for a moment, making sure hands still press firmly into the floor. Now, even though we're on all fours, essentially, feel balance. Balance between the hands, balance between the feet. You're not shifting to one side or the other. Think of your spine as your center, the middle line of your body. Let's go through a warrior sequence. Let's pick up the right foot. Inhale, extend right leg up. Exhale, let's send right foot near the top of the mat or just behind the right hand is good. We'll turn that back leg so we get the full foot onto the floor behind you. Be sure to shift the weight back so you have balance between the feet here, not all the weight forward, but shifting back so there's balance. Rise to fingertips to help extend spine initially. You can climb up the leg here to extend spine a little bit more, and we'll finish. Inhale. Rising up, both arms into the air. We'll hold for a moment. Reaching up, lunging low. We'll take a breath in. Exhale, turn to your left as you bring your palms or arms down to your side for Warrior Two. I'm just going to adjust the feet here so I feel good. And again, there's even some balance here. Just want to be sure you're not lunging too far forward. That kind of plunges the weight forward and kind of takes you out of balance. Want to keep everything center. Again, your spine is the center of the body. If we drew that line all the way down to the floor, there's equidistance from that center point to this front foot and that back foot. Let's reverse the warrior here just to get another side stretch and extension of the arms, reaching, but also getting a nice length through the side of the body and a stretch through the hips. And a big cartwheel out of the pose, around and down to the floor in front. Rise up onto tiptoes behind you. Nice little runner's lunge here. Push firmly into the floor with your hands. Slide right foot back. There's plank pose. Even holding here, just finding the stability and strength and balance of the posture. Downward facing dog. Soft knees, hips to sky. Make some adjustments so you can establish the balance here as well. Soft knees so hips can continue to lift. Palms press firmly into the floor. Other side, inhale, extending left leg straight up and back. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat. Once you've landed, turn right leg to the floor. So you can see how my weight is shifted forward. When I shift back, I create balance. Rise to fingertips to start extending the spine. I like to climb up the leg here. Feel the continued length of spine, and then finish the standing. Inhale, reaching into the air. Exhale, lunge. There's even a movement up and down, reaching high, lunging low. And you'll certainly experience that when we get into our tree pose too. Let's breathe in. Exhale, turn to the right. Arms come down to parallel, adjusting the feet. Settling in, finding that center, sensing that center. You might even just look down and just see if you can eyeball that equidistance from your center to each foot. Let's reverse the warrior, taking the left arm up. Now this back hand might just rest lightly on this right leg. Make sure you're lunging forward, getting some opening and release through the rib cage on the left side. A couple breaths. And our big windmill out of the pose, down to the floor in front. Rise up onto tiptoes behind you. Runner's lunge. Firm press into the floor with the hands. So you can slide this left foot back. Establish balance here in plank pose. Shortcut to down dog. Soft knees, hips to sky. Arrive in the posture. Adjusting feet and hands. And then we'll take several steps, both feet to the top of the mat, to a forward fold. Once here, we'll inhale, slide hands up to the shins to extend the spine, and exhale, fold. Careful weight shift into the heels, bend your knees to lower your hips, start extending spine here, extending arms out and up, reaching into the air, and exhale, arms down to your side. Good. Little circle of the shoulders here just to loosen them up. All right, let's start with our tree pose. Now, tree pose, of course, is a balancing posture, standing on one foot, but we want to start the practice by standing on 2 feet, of course, and finding balance. Making sure toes are pointing forward, feet about hip distance apart. Nice and tall here. Again, equidistance. You're not shifting to one side or the other, but finding that center. Alrighty. Soft knees. Start shifting your weight slowly to the right side so you can feel that shift of energy, and then root or press that foot into the floor. Let's inhale, feel the breath rising, fill up the lungs. Exhale, pull belly into a way to engage the abdominal lock, securing the body, ready for balance. We can peel this left foot up off the floor, picking it up perhaps, maybe flexing the foot so the leg stays active, thigh is parallel to the floor. And we'll just swing it out a little bit, doesn't have to go out too far. And then just placing the foot on the inside of the standing leg. I always default to my calf. You can bring it up higher to your inner thigh, or even use the floor, or bring on a block. You can stand on a block. So I'm going to go to my calf muscle here. My focus is forward. So I'm just looking past you. When the inhale, extend the arms out and up. Here's our up and down sensation. Reaching through the arms, right foot rooting into the floor. Breathing with balance. And of course, balancing on one foot. No worries if you need to step out of the pose. Sometimes we lose our balance. That's normal, common, right? Right there. So you're just losing balance a little bit. No worries. All right, breathing in and exhale. Let's swing that left knee forward, lifting knee, flexed foot. Plant the foot into the ground and immediately return to balance on 2 feet. And then bring your arms back down to your side. Excellent. So even if you're in your tree pose and you lose your balance and need to step out, that's okay. What I would encourage you to do is maybe just come back to balancing on 2 feet, reconnect, and then step back into the posture. All right, other side. Balance on 2 feet, soft knees. We're shifting weight now into left foot, root and press. Inhale, long spine, breath is rising, filling up the lungs. Exhale, connecting to center, engaging for support. Peel that right foot up off the floor, flexing the foot. I like to come to this 90-degree angle, and then turning knee out slightly, there it is, and placing foot on the inside of the standing leg, high, medium, or low. Already beginning to focus out in front of you. And then inhale, let's sweep the arms out and up. A good lifting sensation. Reach like we did in our extended mountain pose, our warrior one postures, even our reversed warrior. Good. You can really feel that standing foot actively working for you, all the muscles engaging to help you balance and focusing forward. Here we go. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. Let's keep the arms in place. Let's swing this right knee forward now, lifting the foot, and then place the foot back down onto the earth. Find your balance on 2 feet and bring your arms back down to your side. Good. Little circle of the shoulders. All right, so that's our standing balance. Let's make our way down carefully and work on spinal balance. Mountain pose. Here we go. Inhale, reaching all the way up. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, fold, hands to the floor, walk, step, or hop feet back, plank pose. Just hold here for a moment. Again, just establishing balance, head to heel, but also left to right. I'm going to bring the knees to the floor. Actually sit back, because you're welcome again to bring in this blanket for a little extra support. It's going to make this a little bit longer. There we go. So I can have knees at one end, palms at the other. So spinal balance is basically this posture. We're going to be balancing on one limb and then the opposite back limb. And so we want to find that center and balance. So what I like to do here is create cow pose and then cat pose on the exhale, but hold cat pose. Hold the position, but keep breathing. All right, I'm now shifting my weight into my right knee. So that way I can take this left knee or leg and extend it, keeping the toes on the floor. Now I'm shifting my weight slightly over to left hand. So I can just slide my right hand forward, just like this, fingertips on the floor, and then start lifting the hand. You can stay just like this, or we pick up that back foot. Now you don't need to lift very high. We took this slowly and carefully so we can maintain the balance. So now I can really reach through this front hand, reaching through that back foot. So that's kind of the up-down or forward and back sensation. We still want to hug to center. This right arm hugging in, the left arm also hugging in. Same that's happening in the legs. Inner right thigh, inner left thigh, hugging to center. And that helps you to maintain balance. So that's spinal balance. Let's do the other side. Let's bring the right hand and left knee to the floor. If you need to rest these hands, maybe sit back and maybe a little circle there. Wiggle the fingers and be a gentle press of the top of the hand into the mat. All right, ready for the other side. So we keep this posture on our hands and knees, but for a balance, you could do this from plank pose. All right, same thing. Let's set it up. Cow, inhale. Exhale, cat, hold. This helps just to engage the core muscles, because as you start to lengthen the body, you'll start to straighten the spine. So I'm shifting weight into my left knee now, so I can free up the right leg and extend it back, keeping toes on the floor for now for balance. Shifting weight gently over to right hand, so I can just slide the left hand forward, maybe fingertips on the floor for a moment. And here we're creating the balance that we need. And then I can just float this left hand up, and then the right foot, and just creates that extended body. The inhale is that reach, and the exhale is the hugging in sensation. Both arms, both legs, and of course belly button towards spine. Spinal balance. You might wobble a little bit, just like in tree pose, no worries. It's also building some good strength in the body. Let's inhale and exhale. Let's bring the limbs back down to the earth. And you're welcome to sit back into hero to relieve the wrists. Very good. All right, we'll finish our practice in seated. Sitting up nice and tall, lengthen spine, and even return to the balanced breathing. So count at your own pace as you inhale. And the exhale pace matches the inhale pace. Very good. And one last movement together. Inhale, extend both arms out and up. On your exhale, bring palms together and down to your heart. Take one more balanced breath in and out. And as we come to the close of our practice together, we bow, saying, Namaste. Thanks for joining me in this yoga practice. If you like this class, be sure to like and subscribe. And if there's a specific body part that you want me to focus on in my next class, be sure to leave me a comment.